My dear ladies and gentlemen, life will always present moments that feel impossible. A dream too far, a challenge too big, a mountain too high. But here's the truth. Impossibility only exists until someone dares to believe beyond it. Airplanes, electricity, and countless discoveries once thought impossible became reality because someone refused to give up. They believed when others doubted. They kept going when others quit. The same power is within you. When fear says you can't, let your faith answer, yes, I can. When the world sees walls, belief sees doors. So don't stop at the edge of the impossible. Step beyond it. Trust that your struggle can turn into strength, your trial into triumph, your vision into reality. The impossible isn't a barrier, it's an invitation. An invitation to rise higher, dream bigger, and believe beyond the impossible. There comes a moment in every life when the path ahead seems blocked, when the challenge is so high that it feels impossible to overcome. It is in these moments that belief becomes our greatest strength. Believe beyond the impossible means to see with the eyes of faith, not just with the eyes of reality. Every breakthrough in history was once labeled impossible. Flying in the sky was impossible until the Wright brothers believed. Lighting up cities at night was impossible until Edison believed. Crossing oceans in hours was impossible until engineers believed. The word impossible has always been the birthplace of miracles for those who dare to believe beyond it. But this isn't just about history, it's about you. When life whispers it can't be done, let your heart shout, I believe it can. When doubts surround you, anchor yourself in faith. Believe that your setback can become a setup for a comeback. Believe that your weakness can be turned into strength. Believe that what others call impossible, you will one day call your testimony. Impossibility is only temporary. What seems impossible today becomes possible when we choose to believe. Many times in life, we encounter situations that appear unshakable, unmovable, and unbeatable. We look at our dreams and they seem too far, our problems too heavy, and our circumstances too fixed. It is in those very moments that the word impossible shouts the loudest. But here is the truth: impossibility is not permanent, it is only temporary. Think about the history of human progress. For centuries, people believed that the idea of flying was foolish, until two brothers named Wright refused to accept impossibility. For thousands of years, humanity lived in darkness after sunset, until a man named Thomas Edison believed there could be light at the flip of a switch. Every advancement that defines our lives today was once labeled as impossible. What changed? Someone dared to believe beyond the limits. Someone saw beyond the present and trusted that impossibility could be broken. In your life, impossibility may come in the form of a financial struggle, a broken relationship, a lost opportunity, or a dream that feels unreachable. It may stand before you like a giant, convincing you that change will never come. But remember, impossibility is not the end of your story. It is only a pause before the breakthrough, when you believe something shifts. Doors you never imagined start to open. Strength you didn't know you had begins to rise. Opportunities you thought were gone forever start to appear again. What felt impossible yesterday can become your testimony tomorrow. So the next time impossibility stares you in the face, don't bow to it. Stand firm, lift your head, and declare, this is not the end, this is only temporary. My belief will turn the impossible into possible. History proves belief breaks limb. Its every great discovery began with someone daring to believe beyond doubt. When we look back through the pages of history, one theme shines brighter than any other. Progress is always born from belief. Every generation has faced limits, walls that seemed unbreakable, ceilings that felt too high. And yet, time and time again, men and women who dared to believe shattered those limits and redefined what was possible. Centuries ago, the idea of exploring the oceans was terrifying. People believed the world was flat, that sailing too far would mean falling off the edge. But explorers like Christopher Columbus believed differently, and their courage expanded the world for all of us. For decades, doctors thought that the human body could not survive surgery on the heart. It was impossible. But visionaries in medicine refused to accept that boundary, and today heart surgeries save millions of lives each year. The same story is seen in the world of technology. Once, computers filled entire buildings and were accessible to only a few. People laughed at the idea that one day a computer could fit in the palm of your hand. Yet today, we carry smartphones more powerful than the machines that once launched rockets to the moon. All of this became reality because someone believed when others doubted. History is not shaped by those who accept them, it is written by those who break them. And what makes them different is not just talent, resources, or luck. It's belief. Belief is the spark that turns an ordinary person into an extraordinary achiever. If history has proven anything, it's this: the word impossible is temporary. It bows down to the power of belief, and just as belief broke limits for those before us, it can break the limits standing before you today. Faith conquers fear when fear says you can't. Belief answers, yes, I can. Fear is one of the greatest enemies of human potential. It whispers in our ear, you can't do this, you're not strong enough, what if you fail? Fear builds invisible walls around our lives, keeping us from stepping into the very opportunities that could transform us. But the truth is, fear only has the power we give it, and the one force that can silence fear is faith. Faith doesn't mean the absence of fear, it means moving forward in spite of it. Every great achievement begins with a moment when fear tried to take over, but faith spoke louder. When David stood before Goliath, fear told him to run, but faith gave him courage to fight. When pioneers stepped onto unknown land, fear warned of danger, but faith pushed them to explore. When inventors created things the world had never seen, fear shouted impossible, but faith answered, just wait and see. Fear limits, faith liberates. Fear says, what if I fail? Faith says, what if I succeed? Fear imagines the worst. Faith expects the best. Fear locks doors. Faith turns keys. In your own life, fear may try to hold you back from pursuing a dream, starting something new, or stepping into your calling. But remember this: fear is temporary and faith is eternal. Fear shrinks when you step forward with belief. So the next time fear rises, don't let it control your steps. Lift your head, take a deep breath, and let faith lead the way. Because faith doesn't just conquer fear, it transforms it into fuel. And once fear loses its grip, you'll discover that the life you were meant to live has been waiting on the other side of courage all along. Belief transforms obstacles into opportunities. Walls become doors when you see with the eyes of faith. Life is full of obstacles, unexpected setbacks, closed doors, disappointments, and delays. They often arrive uninvited and seem to block the path to our dreams. At first, obstacles look like barriers meant to stop us, but belief has the power to flip the perspective. What seems like a roadblock can actually be a stepping stone. Think about it, many of the world's greatest victories came from facing obstacles. When Thomas Edison failed thousands of times in creating the light bulb, people saw failure, he saw lessons. Each obstacle was not the end, but a clue pointing him closer to success. When athletes train for years and encounter injury or defeat, their belief turns those setbacks into fuel for a stronger comeback. Obstacles, when viewed through the eyes of belief, transform into opportunities for growth, strength, and discovery. Your personal challenges carry the same potential. That financial struggle that seems overwhelming may be the opportunity to develop wisdom in stewardship. That broken relationship might be the opening for deeper healing and stronger connections. That job rejection could actually be the redirection to something better aligned with your purpose. Obstacles are not signs of defeat. They are invitations to rise higher. Belief is what makes this transformation possible. Belief gives you the strength to stand back up when life knocks you down. Belief helps you see the bigger picture when the present feels unclear. Belief whispers this is not the end. This is the beginning of something greater. So when obstacles appear, don't let them intimidate you. Instead, face them with courage and faith. The moment you choose to believe, that obstacle stops being a dead end and becomes a doorway leading you to growth, resilience, and opportunity you never imagined before. The impossible is an invitation. Challenges aren't barriers. They are calls to rise higher and dream bigger. When life places a challenge before you that feels too big, too complex, or too overwhelming, it's easy to see it as a dead end. The word impossible can make your heart sink and your mind doubt. But what if the impossible isn't a barrier at all? What if instead it is an invitation, a call to rise, to grow, and to achieve more than you ever imagined? Every breakthrough in history began as an impossible idea. Walking on the moon was once a dream that seemed unattainable. Building a skyscraper that touches the clouds was once inconceivable. Even starting a small business or achieving personal success can feel impossible when the obstacles loom large. Yet those who dared to answer the invitation of the impossible changed the course of their lives and the world. The impossible challenges you to discover your hidden strength. It pushes you to dig deeper, to think bigger, and to act with courage. It invites you to leave your comfort zone, to stretch your limits, and to embrace growth. Every impossible situation carries a hidden lesson, a hidden opportunity, and a hidden victory waiting to be claimed. When you see the impossible as an invitation, fear loses its power, doubt becomes fuel, and what once seemed like the end transforms into a beginning. You start to realize that every challenge, every setback, and every obstacle is designed not to stop you, but to call forth the best version of yourself. So, the next time life whispers, "This is impossible," hear it differently. Hear it as an invitation to rise, to believe, and to move forward with faith and courage, because the impossible is never a wall. It is a door waiting for you to step through. The moment you accept this invitation, your life begins to change, and what once seemed unattainable becomes your greatest achievement.